And welcome into Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are your hosts, me, Mac, Tisfat Bidge. We got Regan, Matt Regan, that is. Regan, how you doing?
Great. I'm glad to be here and ready to talk about the AFC West.
Much better than watching those Celtics get their ass kicked tonight, right?
It's too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too soon before the game, huh?
I just want to see Kyrie lose. That's all I want.
Me too. He'll lose on the big stage. That's fine. And Ryan the Tagless Haynes, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to be back. I'm ready to listen to your argument as to why Teddy Bridgewater will win the 2021 MVP this year.
What? Fake news. I never even claimed such a
I saw
thing.
that in the script. You wrote it yourself.
Oh, that counts now.
Nope, I could edit that. I'll delete all that. Unshare. So today is May 25th, 2021. I just want to thank everybody for supporting this podcast by liking the video, subscribing to our channels. Just a reminder, we are on Spotify, Google, and Amazon, and soon to be Apple. So yeah, if you want to hear just the audio and not see our faces, that's totally cool. Just share our tips with your friends and family. Our tips are for everybody.
Weird.
Just doing so really helps out us a lot. We appreciate the support. Today we're going to be going through the AFC West, continue on with our division breakdowns, talk about relevant players, little record predictions, just recap what their off seasons were. Before that, though, we will get into, and if I can find it, Haynes' Briefs.
I'm here to do an interview for the premiere issue of Briefs, a magazine for cute gay lawyers.
All right, Ryan,
Journalist
what do you
and
got?
publisher, Matt Regan.
Oh,
I was wanting to know what you did for a living, Ryan.
he's just a photographer.
That might be worse.
And in the news, Deshaun Watson is back in the news after reiterating his stance has not changed with the Houston Texans, and he is not going to attend voluntary OTAs. So let's revisit this, fellas. I know we've talked about this a time or two. First of all, does he play in 2021? And two, is he traded before the season starts? What do you think, Greeks?
That one hurts. Is he traded? I can't see either of them happening. I don't see him being traded or playing. That being said, I still might draft him. This is so tough.
So Tyrod Taylor's the starter then.
Yeah, between him and Rodgers, I'm just kind of freaking out at both predicaments.
Yeah. Soon he'll realize how much of a mistake he's made, and he's gonna have to just be on the exempt list for this year, man. And then they'll deal with it in the off season. I don't see him getting traded before the season starts, or him coming back to play this year.
That's exactly what I was thinking with the exempt list.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna have any outcomes from court and whatnot the time the season starts.
No.
Yeah, and I don't see Goodell, removing him from that list anytime soon. So, well, let's segue into the other name you brought up, Reeks. Let's segue into Aaron Rodgers. Wasn't at voluntary OTAs. Is this really it for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? What do you think, Mac?
I've made a huge mistake.
That's what he's going to be saying, because he's not getting any younger, and if he's going to hold out, I just don't see Green Bay Packers being controlled by their board members. They don't have a true owner. It's the fans that control that team, and they want football. So I don't know. He better tread lightly. I don't think he'll play for Green Bay, but that's not what he wants, and he's kind of burned his bridges there. But he doesn't have all the leverage either. So yeah, it's gonna get interesting.
Not a lot of Devontae Adams out there.
That one hurts the most, I think.
I will say that.
He's normally at OTAs too, just to clarify. So him not being there actually is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first time that he's missed in a long time.
All right.
Well, moving on. The big news of the week, before these prima donna quarterbacks, were in the news. So Julio Jones, yesterday, Shannon Sharp on, was it ESPN First Take?
It's
No, it was Fox
Undisputed.
Sports, right?
Undisputed, yeah.
Undisputed.
Fox Sports 1, yeah.
Yeah. So Shannon Sharp calls Julio Jones, asks him if he's being traded. Julio says he's out of Atlanta. Shannon Sharp follows up by asking him if he's going to Dallas or wants to go to Dallas. He says, basically, hell no.
Yeah.
Rumored
No,
to
I
go
want to win.
Can't blame you, Julio.
No, I want to win was the exact quote. Rumored to go to the Pats, the 49ers, the Chargers, and possibly Green Bay. So, I don't know. A lot to unpack there. First of all, where do you think he goes? And second of all, with this conversation, was he live? Are we seeing like legal disputes coming up? Or
with my marketing mind, I think it was all staged just to go viral like it did. But the way he sounded, sometimes I think like, yeah, maybe he didn't realize that he was on live and Shannon Sharp was just calling him, but he didn't realize that he was on TV. But hey, doesn't matter. He already spilled the beans and how he wants to go to a team that wins. I've also seen the Titans. I meant to put this in the notes. The Titans are rumored to get him too, which would be huge because they don't have much depth behind AJ Brown at all. So, yeah, we'll see. It's interesting, but it's gonna be hard to move because they're asking for a first rounder. I don't think anybody's gonna give him a first round. Watch like Tampa Bay or Kansas City got him though. Something annoying like that.
Please don't ruin the league more.
Ruin it more. Oh no.
Yeah, my Twitter account yesterday, I predicted that he would go to the Titans. That's I could see that fitting it nicely.
I'm pretty sure I predicted him going to the Pats last week. Just saying. For N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry, I think, and Ryan threw in the second round pick, which I thought was a great idea. So second round pick, they're not going to get a first round pick for him. He's owed too much money, and he's older, injury prone. I think he's still a stud. He's still a number one wide receiver to go somewhere. That being said, does he play the whole season? I think that's what the other teams are thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he wants to play with Cam.
Yeah, he did say that. I don't get it, but
yeah, no, neither do I. I also like the John J. Hopkins tweet about him saying, "Oh, remember what we talked about?" Mm-hmm. Imagine that: AJ Green, John J. Hopkins, Julio Jones, and then like Larry Fitzgerald comes back and he's like, "I just want to play one more year." So you have all four of them. Amazing.
In 2013, that would have been the best wide receiver core ever.
I was gonna say we're
ever
like 5 years too late, but hey,
5 years. Yeah, maybe 2013 is a little too early, but
no, I mean roughly that would be the peak of it. What it doesn't really matter though, because any team that he goes to, like his production's gone down. Like this is the best spot that he'll be in for fantasy wise, for his career. I think, like for stats wise, if that's what he's worried about. If he wants to go and win, yeah. Kansas City. What about Baltimore? What if he went there?
Good spot to win. I think at 32 is probably what he's looking for, right?
Yeah.
He made it to the big game, hasn't won the big game. He probably has 1 year left. This is probably one and done. I mean, I read something today saying that he's only a $2 million cap hit next season if he's cut. So it's really could be a one and done for Julio.
Yeah, I mean they could use a receiver like that for sure. So I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Any more thoughts on that, Regan?
No, other than you saying Baltimore coming up, I think that's a really good fit if they kind of go the route I think they're going to go and lean away from that run a little bit more, pass that ball around. I think that's an awesome fit to a good team.
Yeah, if they can get him the ball, that'd be great. but they need a game changer as a receiver out there. So
open that field up for Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the money to swing it though. But yeah, it'll be interesting. If you want some more interesting posts and stay in the loop, you can follow us on Twitter at JustTheTipFFP, Instagram, same handle. Follow us on Facebook, like our page, so you can see the videos that we'll post up there. You can follow our personal ones. You can also email us at justthetipffpodcast@gmail.com with any questions, comments. If you want to call out our crappy takes, that's fine. Our bold takes that you think we're stupid, like, I don't know, Zach Wilson being the rookie of the year. I might be backpedaling on that one a bit, but hey, we'll see.
I'm gonna email myself for that one.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. Get some mailbag stuff. We could throw that in the show, everybody. So
I would appreciate it.
Great.
Alrighty, and with that, let's get into our breakdown.
Here on ESPN 8, The Ocho, bringing you the finest in seldom seen sports from around the globe since 1999. If it's almost a sport, we've got it here.
And first up, we got Kansas City with their best player on the team.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Patrick Mahomes, but Regan, go ahead and lead us off with the AFC West preview.
I love it. Yeah, so obviously Kansas City team's amazing. You know, their last season, as we all know, Patrick Mahomes did a little bit of run around the pocket. So they went out and got some guys. They traded their first round pick to the Ravens for Orlando Brown. They drafted the center Creed Humphreys in the second round. And in free agency, they grabbed actually from the Patriots, Joe Thuney, and then from Chicago, Kyle Long. I believe that's 8 linemen. I don't know if that includes the 2 linemen that actually didn't play last year due to COVID, but they went out there and they're trying to protect their franchise quarterback. Needless to say, him running around last year, he still threw for 4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, another 2 rushing touchdowns. Guy's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's been the number 1 drafted QB for how many years? I won the past 2 years in my keeper league because of him, my 2 QB league. It's a great feeling when you get to keep Patrick Mahomes in the 7th round. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, he was ranked the 4th QB last year, so a 7th round value on that. That's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, big fan. This will get into the questions later on, but I know 2 years ago, Patrick Mahomes threw for 50 touchdowns, and now that he possibly has a good line in front of him, maybe there's a possibility he can start averaging 3 touchdowns a game again. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. The last thing on Patrick Mahomes, he's the easiest high pick, plug in and leave in for the full season. So that's always great. Tyreek Hill's coming off probably his best fantasy season of his young career. Finished at wide receiver 2. He only had like 1 bust game. I think that was versus Buffalo. He had literally 3 catches for 20 yards. So, you can't beat a wide receiver 2 with 1 bust game. You have to pay that high capital in the draft to get him. But if you're only going to have 1 bust game, that's amazing. That's good stuff right there. And that's why he is number 2. And obviously Travis Kelce, number 1 tight end again, and 105 receptions, 1,400 something yards, 11 touchdowns. I don't really see that changing. They didn't really go and grab any offensive skill players that would affect either Hill or Kelce. I could see him being the number 1 tight end again. I know he's getting older in age. Injuries might catch up with him. Tight end's a tough position. That being said, though, he does a lot more routes than blocking. So
yeah, Antonio Gates played for like 20 years, so he can do it.
I love Antonio Gates. And then the last one I'll touch on is CH Edwards-Helaire. He played. He only played, I believe, was it 13 games last season? 13 games last season. He'll finish at running back 20. Obviously, their backfield is, they got some guys back there, but I still think Edwards-Helaire is going to be the starter and so on. They got McKinnon, I believe. I don't see that being anything other than just some depth. He only had 2 games last year with over 100 yards, which is kind of not intriguing at all. And only 36 receptions. And you thinking, I know he was honestly the biggest bust, if you ask me, in the fantasy draft last season when going first round. Maybe, I think I grabbed him in our league at like 6 or something like that. And you just thought he was going to be like Hunt and be a PPR machine, and he was not whatsoever. So I guess I'll lead that into the questions, guys. Ryan, you want to throw your first question at me or at the team?
Yeah, sure.
Ryan, hold on. Biggest bust last year? Ezekiel Elliott wasn't the biggest bust last year. Christian McCaffrey was the biggest bust. Teasing, oh yeah, he'll be ready this week. Oh no, he's not ready.
I think McCaffrey. I don't think I would count McCaffrey as a bust. I think injuries are going to happen, and like you can say those are bust seasons or not, but.
All right. I just wanted to clarify for everybody. I don't want.
And Zeke had a big outlier. Like when up until losing Dak, he was very productive, and I think he was like top 5 running backs in the league up to that point. Yep. So, I definitely I'm with Regan. Like he was ranked really high in just about every format, and underwhelmed.
Yeah, the games he missed too are later on in the season too. So he had no. I think it was week 10, and then there was a couple other ones. But
yeah, if you're making a playoff push or in the playoffs, he really he screwed you over. And who knows if it's like a matter of like it's a pass-heavy team. They're going to pass first. And when you're considering like PPR backs as a check down option, well, yeah, check downs are great, except when your wide receiver 1, your tight end 1 are open on every single play and creating space, and you're working through your check downs, and that running back's not even considered. So, I don't know. I CEH was a big bust last year. Very disappointing.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Yeah. I mean, no. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Yeah. I drafted him in the 2nd round last year. I took Mike Thomas.
You.
No, I took Mike Thomas, then him in the 2nd round.
Mike Thomas is the guy I'd put up in the big bust category.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Punching teammates and pulling hamstring.
Yeah.
Hey, I won my league all last year with Michael Thomas. Sitting the bench.
All right, but if your first 3 picks is Michael Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, then Kenyon Drake. Are you gonna win that?
No, not even. Might not even win one game.
Nah.
Kenyon Drake's your best player.
Oh god.
I know. That's how bad it was. Oh man.
Hey, we'll get to him later. With the Raiders.
Yeah, true. All right. Sorry. Yeah, anything else on that, Regan? Sorry, rudely interrupted you.
Well, I think the Edwards-Helaire. Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as CEH, I mean, he's the biggest question mark. I think there's not really any sign that Kelsey's on a downward trend. I mean, he stayed healthy for all of last season for the most part. And you already mentioned the improved O-line. So Edwards-Helaire was a little over 800 yards. I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns and underwhelming receiving stats. So this year, if you consider improvement on his end, just from a developmental standpoint, and you're thinking a better O-line, they lost Sammy Watkins, so there might be a few more targets there. Like, let's set, at least rushing, let's set the over-under with the extra game improvement developmentally and improved O-line at 1,200 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. Are you guys over or under on that?
I will do under on the yards. That's a good line on the touchdowns, though. That's I could obviously flip a coin and be happy with, or not happy, but live with the result. We'll say, I'll say under on both. I think Mahomes is going for the MVP. He's going to be pissed that they should have won last year and got embarrassed. Him scrambling around, what was it, like 500 yards of him scrambling around? They added up in the Super Bowl against the Bucks, and I think he's just gonna try a revenge tour and light up teams and run up the score. So, yeah, watch out. But yeah, I just don't see them rushing the ball in the end zone. So, or rushing the ball in general. That's tough. Regan, what are your thoughts?
So I kind of differ on that. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, what they're realizing is, yes, we are probably the best passing offense in the NFL, but we probably need to get a little bit more balanced. Keep the ball out of the other team's hands a little bit more. I think last year they realized that they can't win like that. That being said, I think he will get over with the extra game. That kind of got me in your notes. So yeah, with the extra game, I think he's over 1,200 yards. I still think he's under the 8 rushing touchdowns. He could have a couple receiving touchdowns. I don't think he had any last year.
He got robbed a couple times. Some games I watched where he would make some nice catches, but then would get called back on holding. So it's there. The plays are drawn up for him to get it. So
He had one receiving touchdown last year.
In one of them, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's none.
I saw 2 get called back, and one was like a 20-yarder. So I don't know.
Significant.
Yeah, I just don't think they're going to rush it in the end zone. I think they're just going to spread them out.
So rankings-wise, is he, running back 20 last year. Is he top 20? Is he top 15? I think from what you're saying, Mac, if he's under on both, he's probably right around the 20 mark again.
No, he's going to be probably. It's hard to say with all the rookies coming in that are just getting, not all of them, but they're going to be taking over. Cam Akers is going to have a longer season. Antonio Gibson probably. Jonathan Taylor will probably have a longer season. Remember, Clyde started right away. He had a great debut game. So,
Dobbins is going to have a longer season too.
Dobbins as well. So it's tough. No, just outside the top 20, I would say. Yeah, he's probably going to be closer to 24.
Wow, I was going to say between probably like 13 and 15.
Oof.
That's my prediction on that one.
All right, let's not get ahead of it.
I really think they are going to. All right. I am making that format for us, so we'll get on that real soon.
Yeah, once we're on that, and I'll throw this out there, and I really have to look at it a little bit more, but I think I see him somewhere in the middle. I think I see him cracking the top 20. Mm-hmm. But what's his ceiling? I think his ceiling is I think top 15 is his ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you drafting him in the second round?
No, I would rather go with a premium wide receiver or a better tiered wide receiver.
Yeah.
Than CEH in the second round.
Would you go with Chris Carson's or CEH?
It's Carson for me. I would take C. Go ahead, Ryan.
I might go Carson too.
Hey, you guys were crapping on me with Carson a few episodes ago, so I just wanted to see.
Well, you're comparing him to a guy that got 1 receiving touchdown and 4 rushing.
I just wanted a little win there.
I flip-flop a lot. You'll see when we start talking about Josh Jacobs.
Oh, no. I love it. All right, so...
yeah, anything else, Regan?
I guess I'll go with revisit my last question. I think, Ryan, if you had one too. I think my last thing was with the actually back to the whole Patrick Mahomes thing and then them revamping this line. He had 37 passing touchdowns last year. Do you what's the over-under on maybe 42 touchdowns this year? Added game, better line. He had 50 in... Was it last year or the year before? Like I was saying. So I think 42 is simple. Now that I say 42, I don't even think I was thinking of the added game.
I would say I think he's going to be closer to 50.
Yeah,
I actually had 50 originally and deleted it, and I was like, maybe 40, 42. And now that we got the added game on, I got to remember that. That's gonna be crazy.
It is. Yeah, I could see him around 45.
I was just about to say, I think 45 might be what I would say. I'd say under 50, but he can get there.
All right.
I like
We'll
it.
get into
I like
that
it a lot.
when we get to the positional rankings. But yeah, we'll set the line at 45.5.
I like it.
I'll take the under. Just barely. Anything else, Regan?
I think we're good. Ryan, if you had anything else, if not, let's jump into the Chargers.
No, let's move forward.
All righty. Chargers it is.
Champagne bottle at the end.
No, I know. I don't know what that was. My mouse.
Hearing things? Okay.
Awesome.
I thought I heard a little pop at the end there. It's like, that doesn't sound like
No,
thunder.
I think that was my mouse that tapped on the.
Oh, all right.
Just a tip where you get a little bit extra. You're welcome,
That's
guys.
Nicely done.
Yeah, this is a great show, guys. I'm just saying.
I think, though, it's going well.
All right, yeah, let's go.
Popping champagne too early, I think, though.
Well, we spent
got
like
3
20 minutes
teams
on the
left.
Chiefs. Let's go.
All right. So the LA Chargers they are looking promising this year. So they made some big additions on the O-line, just like the Chiefs. That was really their primary focus going into the offseason. They were 17th in sacks allowed, so the 13th worst in the league in sacks allowed last season. So they really needed to revamp that offensive line. So they bring in center Corey Linsley, the All-Pro from Green Bay. They bring in some depth pieces and Matt Failer from Pittsburgh, who play a little bit of right tackle and left guard. Ode Bushi from Detroit. And then they bring in tight end Jared Cook after losing Hunter Henry to the Patriots. So, and not to mention, they draft Rashawn Slater, who's arguably everybody had him below Penei Sewell, but kind of in that top tier offensive line category. Mm-hmm. And then to address their secondary, which was another area of weakness, they drafted Asante Samuel Jr. So they're much improved. They're bringing back Joey Bosa this year from an injury. Derwin, I think his name, Derwin James, the safety. He's going to be coming back from injury this year. So they're looking really promising. If Justin Herbert can repeat what he did last year and avoid a sophomore slump, I think this team could really go a long way. One area that I want to kind of focus on is the upgraded offensive line and how that could really benefit Austin Eckler. I think he's a guy who, when you're talking about fantasy football, like a lot of people have question marks around him. He has a history of being injury prone. But when he plays, he's productive. And a lot of people see him as mostly a receiving back. But I think with an improved offensive line, which they have had one of the worst offensive lines over the last 5 years, you could see more production from him on the ground. So I'm going to reference the stat a couple of times today, and I think this is more significant for Austin Eckler than anybody else. He was 25th in the league. He was running back 25 last year in yards before contact, which is more of a stat that's an indictment of how productive your O-line is and how efficient your O-line is. For others, it's skewed when you're talking about a lot of red zone attempts, short yardage attempts, and that's not really where Austin Eckler is being utilized. He's being utilized on first and second down. So for him to be low in that category is a sign that he had a poor offensive line. So now with the improvement, like I said, you might see more yardage. You might see some more red zone attempts. So be on the lookout for him in your fantasy drafts and thinking about that stat. They bring in a new head coach in Brandon Staley. They fired Anthony Lynn. He brings in Joe Lombardi as the new offensive coordinator. He's been with the Saints for a very long time. 2 separate stints working with Drew Brees. So those 2 guys have already come out and said they're going to pass the ball. Like that's what they're going to focus on. They're going to get the ball in Justin Herbert's hands, which again could be benefit to Eckler. And as a note, I would say just be aware of the running back situation. If you are going to target Austin Eckler, you should definitely handcuff him, and you're going to want to monitor that backup running back situation. So whether it's Josh Kelly, rookie Larry Roundtree, and possibly Justin Jackson, although he might be on his way out. So that's that's it for the Chargers. That's really their whole offseason there. What are you guys thinking for this team? What's your projection?
Good.
Good.
I think that they killed it last year, and I was so impressed with Justin Herbert with like his output. And I think this whole O-line is only going to help everyone, and especially Eckler with honestly, I think this might help him with injuries as well. It's so much easier to run through a clean hole, not get caught from behind or whatever. Just in general, it's a little misunderstood in how important this really is for a running back. So
Yeah, he's not a yard after contact kind of guy. So there are guys who can have a low. I was looking at this, who can have a low yard before contact, but be able to break tackles. Yards after contact is really high. Your Derrick Henrys of the world, who can kind of create their own holes and create their own space. Austin Eckler's not that kind of guy. He needs a solid O-line. Mac, what's your projection? What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, that's not his game. But yeah, Eckler, I have him in Dynasty, and I'm nervous because I don't have any handcuffs for him. So, yeah, that's a good point on getting the handcuffs. But just a little fun stat for him when he came back from his injury, weeks 12 through 17, he had 136 targets with 100. I'm sorry, he didn't have that. He was on pace for it. Excuse me.
I was gonna say,
with on pace for that, on pace for 104 catches, 733 receiving yards, and 5.7 touchdowns. So if you have a running back that's projecting to do that, how soon are you going to draft him? Not in the top 5, but in the top 10? Are you going to draft him?
So I just had a dynasty draft, and I did end up with Austin Eckler, and I got him at 4'11".
Nice.
And I'm going to rattle off a few of the running backs that got picked before him. CEH, David Montgomery, Miles Sanders, and right after Austin Eckler was Josh Jacobs. I take him over all of those guys.
I would. Well, in Dynasty, maybe CEH, but I would take him over Miles Sanders no matter what draft. Redraft, Dynasty, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, Regan. You like that? That's a good value right there, Ryan. That was good. I got him in our Dynasty at in the second round, I think. Took Cook and then him. Yeah, I don't know. So say you're in the 9th position, 12 team league. Here, Regan, you got Stephon Diggs and Eckler. Your strategy usually goes running back, but you see Stephon Diggs there. You got to take Diggs or Eckler.
Ooh. In the first round of 9?
First round, you're at the 9th pick. So you're not going to get one of those running backs coming back to you. But you're not going to get Stephon Diggs either.
Yeah, I'm taking Diggs. That's just how I draft, though.
Yeah.
I think the value there is not bad, though. I think that's kind of a toss-up. I liked your concept, too, just to go back, was the Dynasty. CEH I would definitely take first, but Eckler I would take over all those guys.
Minus
Yeah.
CEH, yeah. No, it's a tough call. I don't the injury need going with surprise box as well. What is CEH's potential?
Yeah,
So.
there really is a lot of wide receiver depth in this year's draft. That being said, I couldn't pass up possible first overall wide receiver potential.
And you miss out on all the number 1 running backs, probably.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
So speaking of wide receivers, when you look at the Chargers, if they don't add Julio Jones, I mean, Keenan Allen, I think, is going to be just as productive as he always is. Again, as long as he stays healthy, but the last 2 or 3 years he's been able to do that.
Yeah.
Mike Williams. What about Mike Williams?
This is his last year on the contract, right? So they're not gonna probably sign him again. So yeah, I don't know.
For a contract,
I don't want Mike Williams. He was ranked 46 out of receivers in PPR format. So yeah, I'm not targeting him at all. Very, very inconsistent. Big target man, but. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind having him on my real team, but for fantasy value, nah. I'll take my chances on a rookie, see if they come out.
good depth piece, but not a starter.
Nah, he fill-ins on bye weeks.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. You want me to throw my last question at you?
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
for it.
Let's do it quick. Jared Cook obviously reunited with his offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi, formerly of the Saints QB coach. I guess the question is, do you think this is going to help him? Obviously, I'm guessing the playbook's going to be a little similar. He might be able to get into the process a little bit faster. They lost Hunter Henry. Will Jared Cook have some value this year? I guess is the question.
Jared Cook will have value. He won't be a viable starter. He's not somebody that you're going to want to start week in and week out. He's proven that throughout his whole career. I was looking at his stats earlier today. Even in his best season, there's so many outliers. It's like 23 points in a PPR league, 3 the next week, 6 the next week, 28, 4, 9. Like, and every year it's like that. So if you're playing Jared Cook in the right matchup, he's a definition of boom or bust. In the last few years, it's been more bust than boom. But if you play him in the right slot, he has value for sure.
And that's a lot of the tight ends these days. So in general, I guess you just got to grab like 3 of them and place them in the right games.
He's a perfect guy for a rotation, like a tight end rotation. That's for sure.
Right.
I think Justin Herbert.
He's just a streamer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was ranked. What was he? 18th. Yeah, 18th out of tight ends. So that's not good, man. Not good.
It's not good.
All right. I think we should move on here. What do you guys say?
Let's do it.
I like it. Take us to
The
Denver.
Broncos. All right. So Denver Broncos, we got. We're gonna have a quarterback battle between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. I know, yeah, ladies, keep your pants on. You're all excited over that, but can I interest you in some Melvin Gordon there, Ryan? Huh?
In the 21st century, it might not only be ladies.
I just didn't want to assume you guys were that easy, but all right.
You thought wrong.
Yeah, then they drafted Javonte Williams as well. So Cortland Sutton coming back from injury, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Noah Fant. Their tight end there. They went heavy on defense. They signed Von Miller to another year. Justin Simmons, their safety, a 4-year deal. We won't drag down. They took 9th overall. They took Patrick Surtain, but we won't get too busy with the defense. But that's what their main focus was, which was unusual because they didn't get much offensive production either. So I don't know what they're thinking there. I guess they want to establish their defense first and then concentrate on offense next year. But yeah, they gave up a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater, which, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, you're really not making much of a advancement there. So Teddy Bridgewater was ranked 19th last year, and he had he was on Carolina, so he had Curtis Samuel to throw to, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. He had McCaffrey at some times, and then Mike Davis, who did well for him. And he was only ranked 19th, and then Drew Lock was ranked 23rd. So you're really not getting much different there. I guess I would just ask you guys, is he going to do better in Denver, or we're just going to see all the same? So then are you not going to target these skilled guys? Like Melvin Gordon was ranked 14th, but he's on his last year of his deal. I think they're going to edge him out and put Javonte Williams in there, and it's just going to be a split backfield.
Agreed.
And if they're punting on this season in this division, you got to beat out the Chiefs. So are they just going to develop the young guys and say, screw it? We'll give Javonte Williams more work, and Melvin Gordon, his aging running back, is out of there. They also cut Philip Lindsay, too, so I think that's their plan. Gordon is on his way out, and Javonte Williams will take over probably next year. But yeah, so do you see any much value? You're not really targeting any guys on the team as of now.
If we're talking redraft leagues,
yeah, redraft league here.
there are value picks. Like I think if you can get Jerry Jeudy in the right round at the right time, he could turn into a decent flex option. I think his ceiling is a wide receiver 2 for this year. I don't necessarily see that happening, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think Javonte Williams towards the end of the year could have some value. I think you're absolutely right. Like if the team starts to kind of they come out of the gates, they're 0-2, 0-3, 1-4, whatever the case may be. I think they might start shifting away from Melvin Gordon and giving the ball more to Javonte Williams. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Very true.
What I got to say for this is, as you guys were talking about, I was thinking about, Teddy Bridgewater went to Carolina. Christian McCaffrey was hurt. He missed out on some skilled players. And then I was thinking, I was like, Mike Davis had a great year and put up great stats with him. And he still finished pretty low. I forget what rank you said Teddy finished at, 19 or something.
Yeah, 19. But Mike Davis, he didn't have the best year. He had a good month streak. But definitely serviceable. But their offensive line was not that great either. So it does come back to the line to make running backs more valuable.
Always, unless you're Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I know. Then that's just the easy button there.
I mean, what about Cortland Sutton? He was a big name last year.
Yeah, the year before. Right, he was injured last year.
Correct.
Yeah, but going into
going in
drafts last year, he was a big name.
Yeah, so he's a beast. So if I can take him in the middle rounds, see what I get, I'm totally gonna take a shot on him. We'll see. But there was rumors that Aaron Rodgers would go there too. So if that happens, then all of a sudden everybody's value goes up on this team. But yeah, just with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, you're just like, ugh, I don't want to take anybody here. You're just gonna be like, all right, this guy's the next best ranked, Melvin Gordon. I need a backup running back for bye weeks. I guess I'll take him. And then Javonte Williams later on, taking a shot on the rookie. Or who would you take beforehand? Would you take Javonte Williams or Melvin Gordon? Depending on what they look like in preseason.
You might have taken them both. Just try to put on that. I don't know. If you end up with one, you got to try to get the other. That's
you pretty much got it. Yeah.
I think you go with Javonte Williams because I think by the end of the season, if you can stash him, kind of like a lot of fantasy players did last year with Antonio Gibson, a lot of fantasy players did it with J.K. Dobbins. A lot of them did it with DeAndre Swift, although he got a lot of shots right off the bat. It's Cam Akers. Mm-hmm. Cam Akers took a long time, like week 13 or week 14 before he started really doing anything.
I know. I dropped him. I regret it.
So I draft Williams. I'd stash him for sure. I think he's got a lot of value towards the end of the season, though. What about Jerry? I know I just mentioned him, Jerry Jeudy. I think we answered it, but dude had a ton of targets last year.
Yeah.
And you would think that if you get that many targets and you can improve just in the slightest, that you would be that much more productive. He had 110 targets and 53 catches. And I might be a little off with the catches, but it was bad.
55 catches. He had a bunch of drops. I don't have the drops written up, but
10 drops, third worst in the league.
Yeah. But also it's Drew Lock throwing him the ball too. So they need I don't know why they didn't go quarterback in this.
He couldn't catch, and he had bad quarterback play. It's like a double whammy.
You just can't win there.
110 targets though. That's
hey,
it's a lot. It's up there.
But when Cortland Sutton comes back though, those are going to go down. So he's got to capitalize on those catches, on those opportunities here.
Yeah,
I'd like to look at the numbers on how many of those really were catchable, real catchable balls, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do a deep dive on that.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
All set. Thanks. I think Ryan said it best with all these guys. This team in general is they have value, but if you get them at the right time and kind of just sit back and watch some guys just plug in on your bench, that's about it on this team.
All right. I think that's enough on the Broncos there, unless you guys got anything else.
I think that's the perfect segue talking about players going on the bench as we move to the Raiders.
The who?
Viva Las Vegas!
The Las Vegas Raiders.
That's right. Ugh. All right, well, we'll be over about 5 minutes here. So
Yeah, as our producer would like to say, the greatest team in this division. If you're not the other three. Ouch. So they needed some help. The Las Vegas Raiders, that is. First round, they might have jumped the gun a little bit. They're saying for Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle out of Alabama. He is 6'6", 312 pounds. He's a big boy. They're saying I think 17th overall, and they're saying he could have got him like 20 picks later. So let's not yell at him that much, but in general, Alex Leatherwood, he's gotten a little worse the past 2 years at Alabama. He went from letting up 0 sacks to 5 sacks last year. I think he was in the top 10 or maybe top 5 in penalty yardage for a lineman. So it's not looking that good, but he's a rough around the edges type of player, and they obviously see the potential taking him at 17.
Hang on, did I hear you say that the Raiders drafted a guy who commits a lot of penalties? Trading, so I don't believe it. A team that disciplined. Oh, what are they thinking?
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
That's their type of guy.
Yeah.
No, that's like their number one criteria in the draft board. Like, how many penalties does this guy commit? He leads all of NCAA. Perfect. He's our guy.
Yeah, or how many offenses he has in real life.
Right?
Anyways,
like that with toughness. They're like penalties, toughness. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, continue.
This guy's a fighter. No, it's all good. You hit it on the head. In the 7th round, they grabbed Jamie Morrissey, center, Pittsburgh. Also played right guard. This is kind of a good pick. He's kind of like one of those players that can play a couple positions. So I think that's why they got him as depth for the whole line. As I'm saying this, they obviously needed some help at line. They actually traded their standout center, Rodney Hudson, to the Cardinals. And they drafted no skills players whatsoever. So no wide receivers, no running backs. They lost Nelson Aguilar to the Pats. So I don't know what they're really thinking on that end. They acquired Willie Snead. Yay. He did horrible at New Orleans and Baltimore. Not horrible, but nothing to show for it, really. That being said, them losing Nelson Aguilar, he had 896 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. So somebody's got to take that, and I don't think Darren Waller can take that as well as what he put up last year. So somebody's got to get those receptions. They also
keep him on your radar.
Brian Edwards, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Deep sleeper there.
I like it. I actually looked at his stats and I was like, I'm not gonna talk about him.
No,
So,
yeah, I think
I should do some more. No, I like that. That's awesome. To top that off, they also grabbed Kenyon Drake, the 15th running back overall last year, or just about, to pair with their number 8 overall running back, Josh Jacobs. And that was after their line did horrible. Yeah. I don't know what their concept is. Obviously, the word is that Kenyon Drake, obviously, I think we brought this up week 3 or something like that, podcast 3. Kenyon Drake's going to possibly play slot receiver and also dabble at running back. It scares me, guys, for Josh Jacobs. That being said,
it's not good once you bring in another guy who was a starting running back to bring him in on a young running back in the backfield there. You're going to take away touches from him. So, yeah, his value drops. So you got a reason to be scared.
Yeah.
Out of what John Gruden's doing, though.
I don't think John Gruden knows what he's doing.
I don't think so either.
Idiot.
Seriously.
Real
this team.
Doing
this research on this team was comical and also sad at the same time. But That being said, Kenyon Drake, he did have a couple good outputs in pass catching for Arizona last year and Miami the year before, both with over 50 to over 50 catches, which is always great. Guys, this is just killing me. You know,
it is a lot.
Yeah, and obviously the Raiders, you know, all the rumors going
Ryan.
around.
Look at him. Look at you. You made Ryan run away.
Yeah, I would run away from this too.
Like, I'm done talking. Yeah, he muted himself and walked away.
You're still muted, Ryan. You're killing me, Smalls.
There he is. I can't even sit here and listen to this. I just had to throw up. I came right back though.
All right.
So, I'll try to speed up. You know, obviously with all the rumors going around that the Raiders are talking about getting Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, they plan on just staying with Derek Carr. You know, average wise, 4,000 pass yards last year, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's an average for the past 3 years, around 4,000 yards. That's not bad, but
it's underwhelming though. Yeah.
It's honestly, and that's what it is. It's an average QB. I think he finished like 14th last year, 13th, 14th.
Yeah,
he's definitely he's definitely improved over the past 3 years. That being said, his first 2 seasons, I think he looked like he was going to be something special, and then 3 years later, I forget how many seasons this is. I think it's like the 7th or 8th season, which I was amazed by.
Really?
I felt like
7th,
yeah.
So this will be his
8th year. I couldn't believe that. So I guess that pretty much finishes up that team. But I think what I'll do is I'll throw it in my first question is Darren Waller, the only player on the Raiders that you guys would draft confidently. I'll throw it to Mac.
Yeah, confidently. Yeah, I'm taking Waller in the second round in redraft leagues for sure. Kelsey. For me, it's Kelsey then Waller. I would take Waller over Kittle. Hawkinson. I think Hawkinson's going to have a big year this year as well. But yeah, I'd rather take Waller. He's their biggest passing target, and it shows. He did tremendous. He was number 2 last year as well. So, and if you can establish your tight end position early in the draft, and you don't have to worry about it week to week, and stream somebody like Jared Cook or Noah Fant for Denver, who was ranked 8th, but the point differential is tremendous. So there's a huge drop off from the top 3 to the next 5. So yeah, I'm gonna get one early, and I would take Waller in the second round. If I went running back, then Waller, that's fine. And deep wide receiver in the middle rounds, I would take it. The thing is, though, with Nelson Aguilar gone, he was 34th ranked wide receiver. Yeah, just under, like you said, just under 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. Somebody's going to have to fill that. I would take a shot on Ruggs or Bryan Edwards. He does run good routes. They just didn't get him the ball that much. But people talk about, the stat of yards per route run. So he wasn't just standing out there just blocking. So, but yeah, I would see Ruggs take a late flyer out on him.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely agree as well. Somebody's got to step up, like you're saying.
You got anything on that, Ryan? Or
yeah, I mean, I think taking a flyer out on Ruggs and Edwards, they're good stash options this year. And possibly, like, if Waller gets some of that Aguilar action, and does he now challenge Kelsey for number 1? Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah. It's great insight. And I don't want to forget about the 2 running backs, Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. I would probably, obviously, I definitely would slide Josh Jacobs back in the draft, but I would definitely take flyers on both these guys. Obviously, injury occurs. You got a automatic starting running back. And if they necessarily play separate roles in this team, which Gruden's kind of coming out and saying between slot and running back, I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to lose his touchdowns. I think he's still going to be the goal line back compared to Kenyon Drake. Any
Yeah.
thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, no, probably. They didn't throw Jacobs the ball too much, so that hurts his value. So I guess that's why they have Drake there, like you said, to line him out in the slot and stuff. So
Yeah, I think he had 36 catches last year, something like that.
yeah. I mean,
So-
it's not terrible, but
I have an interesting stat for you guys because
there
I
you
was
go.
thinking
Oh,
about
no.
that. I'm like, there's no way Kenyon Drake takes goal line carries away from Josh Jacobs. So the two of the top 4 leaders in rushing attempts inside the 10-yard line, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake from last year. Inside the 20 in the red zone, Jacobs had 64 attempts, led the league. Kenyon Drake was 4th with 56. Both
Jeez.
had 9 rushing touchdowns. Oh no, I'm sorry. From within inside the 10, they both had 9 rushing touchdowns. Jacobs edged him in total touchdowns, but that's scary, man. I'm like, no way he's taking goal line carries. Then I'm like, he's just as productive as Josh Jacobs is in the red zone.
Yeah,
That's some good
Yeah.
insight right there.
they're gonna split them up, and it's just gonna average out. So
It's going to be like Jacobs runs on first down, gets stuffed. They bring in Kenyon Drake second down. Maybe they run something a little bit different.
yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs was ranked number 8 running back last year in PPR formats. For those that are new to the podcast, we really just go off of PPR ranking unless we state otherwise. But yeah, then Kenyon Drake was ranked number 16. So yeah, they're gonna be somewhere in the middle, man. They might be just out of that one spot, right out of the top 12. Unless
Yeah.
one of them goes
Definitely.
down.
Yeah,
Unless
and
one of them goes down, then I don't know.
I heard the signing and when they signed Kenyon Drake, and I'm like, like he's clearly going to be number 2, good third down option, receiving back. Like they don't trust Jacobs coming out of the backfield, running into the flats or running patterns, whatever. And now I'm like, shoot, like Kenyon Drake is just as efficient as a runner as Josh Jacobs is. You can make that argument at least.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So then, how early are you going to take a shot out on Jacobs there? Third
That
round?
one's really tough. I think third's the earliest I would.
Yeah, you wouldn't
I
take him in
couldn't
the
see-
second as your
Nope.
running back 2. So,
Well,
in the
I'm probably
middle-
not taking another one.
All right. So
if I'm not in the top 6, I'm not taking a running back. That's just
Oh, okay. That's your strategy. We'll have to do an episode on that.
How about this, Javonte
wait.
Williams or Josh Jacobs?
Oh, Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Absolutely. Try again.
I'll do the same. Devontae Williams or Kenyon Drake
Oh, why are we going back to
in a
Javonte Williams?
redraft.
Oh, okay.
In a
Drake?
redraft.
Hey,
Same episode.
Yeah, I got
take-
you.
I'm
All
taking
right.
Drake.
You would take Drake? Yeah.
Yep. Just for the catches, PPR wise, if that's what we're in, a PPR, that's what I would go with.
Well, here's my thing. I would take Josh Jacobs as my running back 2, but I don't think I would take Drake as my running back 2.
No.
So yeah, so say I get, I don't know, Nick Chubb as my running back 1, and then I'm coming back on the second round. Do I take Josh Jacobs or do I go with the top tier wide receiver there? I don't know.
Yeah, that's I guess
He's that borderline. If he's not going to be a number 1 running back, then I guess I could wait, take a shot on a rookie.
If you get
depends on what wide
Jacobs,
receivers there.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're good. And if you get Jacobs, I think if you get him in the early, like somewhere in the 4th round, I'd feel good about that. Like I think I would like
Think
Josh
he's going to
Jacobs.
drop that far?
I don't know. And running backs go quick. It really depends on the draft.
That's the thing. Like most of our leagues, the running backs, it's running back heavy. The top 2 rounds, they're all gone. So
I know, but if you have if I had I would rather have 2 premium receivers and one running back than 1 premium receiver and Josh Jacobs as my number 2 running back. Because I think you can find other options that might be able to be just as productive as Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to be inconsistent, so I think you can find those guys and plug and play them. And one of those guys is Kenyon Drake. You might be able to similar value, right? Like you might be able to get him 3-4 rounds, maybe not that far, but maybe 2 rounds.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I would take Josh Jacobs before Drake, and I would take him in the 3rd round, but then I could get Drake later at like the 6th round. Better value there. No, you're right on that. Tough call. We'll have to get in deeper than just the tip, I would say.
I'm all set with the Raiders. No, that's when you call an Uber and like you need to go home.
Just draft Waller. That's all.
Exactly.
This division's boring. There's too many agreeable things. Like it's hard
it's very
one-sided.
Very cut. I mean they did the signings and it's just like, okay, well, there's nothing to get excited about, unfortunately. So you got obviously Chiefs.
Predictable.
What's that?
So if there is anything exciting, they're predictable. Your Kelce's, your Hills, your Wallers, your Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it goes without saying you're drafting those guys early, and then the Broncos are going to take a chance on them, but not early. Waller is the only valuable piece that I would take in the 2nd round right there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pushing it too. But
True.
if you miss out on the tight ends, I just have a feeling that at a premium, everybody's just going to take them early.
I can honestly say I'm really excited to see where these average draft positions are once the season really starts going. People start really mocking a little bit more, just between the quarterback situation, Julio, and all these running back moves and all the moves in general this year. This is going to be a little bit different, and we got to think about the extra game. It's going to be nuts.
So I got to tune into the podcast.
Bingo.
That's true.
That's kind of what I was getting at. You're supposed to throw a plug in there or something, Mac.
You want me to
we'll
plug
make one. What?
Oh, just you want me to plug us? Oh, okay. I got you. Well, I guess to make this more exciting next year, we should go to the live NFL draft over there live in Vegas there and do a pod from there. That would be pretty sweet, huh?
I think we need some more followers, and I think
sponsors.
We do. We might need some sponsors, or we can start a GoFundMe page. You guys can GoFund us. We'll go out to Vegas and try not to gamble it all away. Actually, do a show from there. Yeah,
that's gonna happen, but that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be. Would we? We could dream, though, huh?
Absolutely. We'll build Vegas in one of our basements.
I think just us 3 will go, though. We don't need anybody else with us.
Definitely don't need the Raiders fans to come, like our producer.
No,
it's not like we need a producer or anything. All right, you guys got anything else for the leftovers?
Not today. I think we cleared it up. I don't know if you guys have a decided a division what we're going to go with next yet.
Oh, we'll go AFC North. That's fine.
That's what I was thinking.
AFC North it is.
Sweet.
Yeah, so pretty much bottom line from this division, you got the Chiefs players and Waller. And everybody else is
Chargers
shot in the dark.
Chargers, shot in the dark.
I'm sorry, but I forgot about the Chargers.
Your Herberts, your Ecklers, Keenan Allen. Got some guys.
Silly me. I totally forgot about the Chargers.
That's so
they're from San Diego, right, Regan?
Oh yeah, every time. Did I say that again today?
No.
Oh, good. You guys didn't give me that.
Dude.
You guys didn't give me that team for that reason.
Yeah, we really got.
Notice how I just went right to Raiders too.
You didn't say Las Vegas. That's why I wanted to remind you though with the drop.
It's a smart man. Oh, gotcha. Honestly, I'm looking at the AFC North. I'm pretty excited about this. I don't think that's going to be a dull one compared to the Raiders.
It shouldn't be. So hopefully next time you guys will tune in. Just a tip, FFP is our social media handles. If you want to email us, tell us how much you like the show, how you dislike it, what we should do better. If Ryan should, I don't know, get a haircut, grow a mustache, little comments. I need to get a haircut. That's why I shave too. Oof.
Yeah, pick on yourself then. Jeez.
You guys can pick on me. It's fine. We want to thank you guys for supporting us. Just like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, share your tips. Ask your mom how much she likes my tip. Have a good one.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.